But you can't go anywhere.
But I can't go anywhere, and I can't interact with people. People won't answer the door. I can't sell it door to door. And so I was like, well, I have always steered away from online, just e-commerce, just because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I just have skills that I've been able to go make money with. And so I was like, well, I guess I get to learn a new skill during La Rona.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this segment of Reformed Dads. To see the full episode, join our Patreon community by going to patreon.com/reformeddads.
All right, so we're going to come into the discussion segment of our show. And you being a coffee roaster, we wanted to discuss running a family business, because this is actually a business that you run out of the house with your family. Mm-hmm. And man, in a time like right now, talk about something important to talk about, running a family business, right? Out of your home.
Yeah.
Some people, do it for total income, like you and I, we run a home business. But also others for side income even, it's such a great thing to get into, especially with your family.
Yeah.
To be able to have something to do with your family. So tell us, how did you get started in the coffee roasting business?
So when I was 15, I got my first job at a Barnes & Noble cafe. And I was started as barista, which most roasters start back there.
Okay.
Worked there for about 6 years. Came out of that. All alongside this, I'd been firefighter and all these different jobs that I did seasonally. So fire was in the summer. So in the winters, I'd figure out ways to manage coffee shops or whatever. So I went from barista to coffee shop owner in Salt Lake City. I was part owner in a chain of 3 coffee shops in Salt Lake.
Okay.
One of them is actually still there. We just sold it.
Okay.
So we didn't sell it recently, but we sold it to someone else.
I've been to that one, I believe, when we were there.
Yeah. So I went from coffee shop owner. There I kind of started to understand the roasting process because the person who supplied me with the beans was very near to where my shop was, and I'd go hang out with him and kind of observe him, and I was like, oh man, I want to get into that.
Yeah.
I can supply myself,
Cut out the middleman.
Yes, always looking to cut out. There's so many middlemen now. Everywhere you go. We came down to Arizona, and we had a coffee truck for a while.
Yeah.
And I started roasting at home just on small machines. Actually, my first roasts I did on a whirly pop. Like the popcorn little kettle.
Yeah.
What?
Like the little giant. Yeah. You can do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it smokes up your house like nothing else, and you can't get smell out for like... It's like a rental house. I was like, it smells like roasted coffee. So I started learning there.
Back.
Yes. And then I moved up to what's called a beamer. It's like a sample roaster. And then I got hired at a very large coffee company as their head roaster. And went to school for it through them. They sent me to training. Just started learning the ropes. Because I had enough coffee experience, they didn't have a coffee person in the building.
Okay.
They are a very large... This company still exists, and they're a very large marketing company with a coffee problem. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So when I came out, I was like, I've owned shops, I've managed people, I understand the process of roasting. They're like, well, we'll send you to school so you are good on it.
Wow.
Which they did, which was awesome.
Wow.
Very grateful to them for that. So I went and got certified as a level 2 professional roaster, and then for about a year and a half for them, just roasted huge batches of coffee over and over and over.
Really quick, just tell us what is roasting coffee?
Basically, you're just taking the green coffee from the plant, which is actually a seed, not a bean. But the seeds from the coffee berries, when they're ready to be harvested, they ship them to companies that distribute them through the world. Right? Import the green beans. You apply heat to them in a skillful fashion. There's a series of processes that happen.
Okay.
Where it takes it, the simple way to put it is caramelization. You could think of it as just cooking a steak.
Okay.
But it's, a fruit seed. And taking it to a certain level of roast based on what possible flavors could be in that bean.
Okay.
And those possible flavors come from the soil, the region it was grown in, what crops are grown around it to provide shade,
Wow.
how it's processed, if it's fermented. There's
Okay.
a variety of things that play into why coffee from different regions tastes the way it does
Okay.
and why it's different. But basically, the short version of it is you figure out what those flavors are based on what the importer tells you, and the skill of roasting is capturing those flavors.
Okay.
Because if you do it the wrong way, you go too far, you go not far enough, your coffee will come out flat and you won't capture those flavors.
And they sent you to school for this.
Yes.
To do this. Awesome. And
Yes.
is it like a year university?
No, I did a very condensed, it was 2 classes of 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's just certification. It's like getting an EMT certification or something where you don't get they do have one college in California that is now doing specialty coffee degrees, like an actual
A degree in coffee.
actual college degree in coffee. 'Cause
California.
it's so
It's chemistry almost.
it is very much chemistry, yeah, and it's art and science
Oh, love it.
equally. So there's an art to it and kind of a feel you have for it, but there's a lot of chemistry and science and breaking down amino acids and changing chains and all of those things that happen through the coffee roasting process that you can get trained on.
Okay.
And
So you got paid to go to school. They paid for
Yep.
you to go to school. You worked for them, and
Yep.
then
stopped working for them, and I actually got hired as an elevator technician, an elevator mechanic apprentice.
okay.
That's what I was doing up until just recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they laid off a whole score of mechanics, and it's kind of a union job, an apprenticeship.
Okay.
So the first people to go are all the
Apprentice.
apprentices, and
Yeah.
they basically told me pretty flatly, you need to just go find another job, because by the time all of this gets back, I mean, you got to go provide for your family, and we got
Yeah.
to hire all these mechanics back before we hire back the apprentices, and right.
Right.
So Corona happened, got laid off. We don't own the coffee truck anymore. It was a little too logistically intense, running
Okay.
around all over the place, trying to fight the food truck mafias. Gets a little gnarly out there in the food truck world. So, with all the kids and everything, it was a little too heavy duty on our life with how young our children are. 'Cause we
Right.
like
Okay.
to include our family in the businesses we do.
Yeah.
And so when Corona happened and I got laid off, and it was like we had moved down to Arizona again to take that job with the elevator unions, it was like, what do we do? Well, let's make coffee. Well, no one knew that they were going to cancel all the events. So we started making coffee for events. Like we were going to go sell them at farmers markets
Yes.
and at festivals and things like that.
Okay.
And we pre-produced probably 500 units to go
Wow.
take out and sell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they canceled all the events we'd signed up for.
So your
the
plans-
week we finished. Yeah, and I'm sitting here staring
The
at
week that you finished.
finished prepping all of our product.
Because
Wow.
of COVID.
And they
'cause of COVID.
canceled it. We got one event in.
Yep.
We didn't sell nearly what we were planning on based on prior year's numbers.
Sure.
And I was just sitting there staring at all of our coffee that we had made. Like, okay, well,
Yeah. What are we
I've
gonna do
already
with this
made
coffee?
it. I can't just sit here and let it go
Yeah.
to waste.
But you can't go anywhere.
But I can't go anywhere, and I can't interact with people. People won't answer the door. I can't
Yeah.
sell it door to door. And so I was like, well, I have always steered away from online, just e-commerce, just because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just have skills that I've been able to go make money with. And so I was like, well, I guess I get to learn a new skill during La Rona.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just threw a Shopify together and started selling coffee online.
Okay.
And now I love it.
It worked
Now
out.
I'm like, wow, I can include my family so much more
Yes.
now that I'm doing online business. That's great.
This addition versus submission. Sinners need forgiveness. Surrender to his lordship. Don't extort the grace he's given. See, I'm blessed by the one Yahweh all day. I'm a wretched sinner. Deserve hell for always.